And hello. What is up, everybody? Welcome to a live stream of Zombie Bites. This is a bit different than doing the normal, regular video editing style. It's live, so if I mess up, forgive me. We are doing for the week of May 29th. It's been a kind of a slow week for horror news, but theme park wise, it's been pretty eventful. See everybody's in the chat. Hello. I'd be down. Leatherface, what's up? You want Leatherface to come back? I want another Halloween. Friday the 13th maze. Hello. Hey, other Chris. Finally made it to a live stream. Hello, Autumn's Ashes. What is up, everybody? Yes, we are going to be talking about that elongated rumor that's been around for a little while with Leatherface. But first, as we usually do on this channel, trying to do this stuff live. Hey, there we go. And yeah, so first up, yes, so horror news wise, it's been drastically crazy slow. There has been really nothing going on except for something sort of unrelated to each other. If you don't know, HBO, it's a channel out there. Would love for them to be a part of Horror Nights one day, but they have been around the block. They've been, trying to take on Netflix. So now they just released HBO Max, which is their new sort of on-demand streaming service to kind of compare it to Netflix in a way, but it's not widespread everywhere just quite yet. But what is interesting is that they have a pretty steep catalog of horror.
Show me.
And that's enough of that because Warner Brothers loves to mute all things that are going on. Yeah, what's up? Looking forward to the HHN news. Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, where we go. Share screen. 1 second, right here. So over on Bloody Disgusting, they actually have it's 120 plus movies that are on HBO Max to start streaming. So that is pretty insane when you think about the extensive list of things. Let's see, there we go. So yeah, HBO Max with Warner Brothers. Obviously, there's some great stuff. Ready or Not just popped on there. You got Us, Child's Play 2 and 3, Freddy vs. Jason, Gremlins 1 and 2, It Chapter 2, a bunch of Godzilla movies, Aliens 3, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Annabelle Comes Home, The Blob. I mean, the whole Critters. Franchise. And then you got stuff like a bunch of the Friday the 13th movies are on there. The newer one, 2009, a bunch of Godzilla, Happy Death Day, a bunch of Nightmare on Elm Street movies, because obviously it's Warner Brothers, The Conjuring 2, The Nun. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's even more like when you look through the catalog of stuff on there. So I found that pretty interesting because there's not too many things out there. There's like what Shudder and Netflix sort of has some decent horror here and there. Amazon Prime's got a lot of older stuff, but sometimes it's good to sit back and watch a couple Freddy movies or a couple Jason movies. So it's pretty cool. I found that really awesome. We have a video going over HBO Max as far as sort of a a preview of what it looks like over on the channel. So if you want to check that out, check it out. And that is it as far as the horror news. Time to get to I didn't mean to play that twice, my bad. But what most people are here for is the nugget, the bulk of what we're talking about. And no, that has nothing to do with Halloween Horror Nights. Fooled you guys on that one. What we're talking about is Disney World is actually going to be opening up. On July 11th, Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom will be opening up. And then a few days after, on July 15th, you have Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios is going to be opening. Some soft openings will be held prior to July 11th opening date. And what's funny about all this is that, yes, you will have to wear a face mask. I do have mine right here. I always have them. But you're going to have to wear a face mask. And I know for a lot of folks out there, they absolutely hate wearing face masks. They think it's a crime. And then the fact that, you know, you're at Disney and you want to take photos with Mickey, but you're wearing a face mask. And it's sort of a big uproar. And a lot of people are really upset about this. But I mean, I wear one every time I go out, I wear one at work all day. So I have no problem with this. Yeah, I think people are overreacting about that. What is up, SoCal? And here's a little plug. If you haven't already, check out SoCal Exploring. Check out his YouTube channel. We've done some collabs. We've got some future stuff planned for you guys and some really cool stuff. I believe him and Losh do Horror Nights Unscripted. It's a great podcast. They just dropped one, or they are currently have one in the future lineup with a really cool guest. I don't want to spoil it in case it hasn't came up already, but check out Horror Nights Unscripted over on SoCal Exploring. Now I gotta hide you. Hey, got it. There we go. Yeah, the whole stream setup is nice. Yeah, it's decent for what it is. I just gotta it's a little tricky without having the co-host here, my buddy Connor, without him sort of filling in the gaps. What is up, Ryan? Hello, hello. And what you guys really came here for, the big beast. That is right. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which we've had just previously at HHN 26, and that is what I'm showing you. This house right here. I still remember great parts of this house. I still remember being terrified, especially if you guys went through it and you know the scene where it plays that camera flash noise and it got really dark and it was doing that slow strobe lights. It was pretty terrifying, I think. Yeah. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And where this rumor comes from is a little website. Let me pop it up here. Called Theme Park University. Now, this website, I never even heard of it. I got told this that, oh, you know, this is weird. This is some houses that are not on HHN Nightmares speculation list, which, you know, the normal stuff, the Beetlejuice, Haunting of Hill House. Did I say Hill House? Yeah, I want to say the Haunting of Hell House instead of Hill House, but Hill House, you got Billie Eilish. So they've been spot on. And this article is from like the beginning of April. And then something kind of was weird going on where they dropped this about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was something I kind of heard some rumors about here and there, but I was not believing it because we already kind of had the original one at HHN 26. But here we go. And what they say in it is about, even though it was featured in 2016 and 2007, that they are believing there will be a new spin on this house for 2020. So the interesting part about that is, so how do you do an interesting like spin, something that we've never seen before with Texas Chainsaw? I I'm kind of scratching my head on that. Like, how do you do something that we've never seen before with him? Maybe the updated version, maybe sort of like I was thinking maybe like it would run through the entire history of Texas Chainsaw, but then that's kind of slippery slope because multiple companies who probably own the rights. That's kind of hard to do, even though they were able to do the classic. Who knows? Maybe it's a one and the sequel. Maybe it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. I mean, there's kind of an endless amount of stuff they could do with the property. So, not quite sure how they're going to do that. You know, it's tricky, but I think Leatherface is big enough to pull an audience in where they are not doing Halloween, obviously, and not probably until next year. They're not going to get Freddy or Jason anytime soon. So, Leatherface, maybe, maybe that secret IP that is on the HHN speculation map, but we'll have to see that once the announcements kind of roll out. And I do believe the first announcement is probably going to be the haunting on Hill House. I think that's the first one they start with. If they do a week long announcements, I think unless we get one towards the end of this month, I think that's maybe how they're going to roll these out. Maybe every couple of days, maybe one every week for the month of July. I don't know. We're going to see. Now we'll open it up to the Q&A. What is up? What is up? What's your favorite role? It's got to be the original Dead Exposure. First house, first role, first house. Yep. Because I had so much freedom in that role, so much more freedom than most actors usually have, especially nowadays. Most scare actors nowadays, if you notice, if you've been to the event, is sort of they're in one, sort of boxed in location, or they're a pop out scare and then they go back behind the door, pop out, go behind the door. And in Dead Exposure, it was one long hallway, and we had it was pretty much a long hallway with mannequin dummies on either side, but then there were like two open spaces towards the front where people come in, and then we had like secret doors we can go from one side to through the hallway through the secret door, and then end up at the end of the hallway. And there was another room which had the hanging bodies in, and no one was ever in that room, so we could always just kind of go from that room to that room either way. So we had so much freedom in that role to do whatever we wanted to do. There was no, hey, you got to do this, or you're supposed to be on the wall as a mannequin. It was total freedom. So I think that's what they need more in these houses, is to kind of give the actors a little bit of freedom to kind of just do a little bit more. But, with drunk guests, you never know. Let's see. We need an announcement, or I'm going to flip. Is that a back flip, a front flip? What kind of flip? We get the Titans of Terror maze that was done. And that would be interesting to get that. I don't know. That's Hollywood's type of thing right there, is the Titans of Terror, and Orlando is, we want our stuff completely separated. um, what's your favorite maze that you've ever been a part of? Also, what is your favorite maze to walk through? Um, hmm, it's probably the favorite maze. I mean, they all have special places. I mean, Dead Exposure was always fun because it was the first one. Um, I was a part of the Thing from HHN 21. That was kind of fun for a night or two. Penn and Teller, that was kind of fun to be a part of that as well. Um, favorite maze to walk through? It's probably a tie between Killer Clowns from last year and HHN 25, Jack Presents Monsters of Mayhem, because I mean, it's hard to beat those two houses. I mean, especially Killer Clowns. So much fun to go through. So much fun. That's awesome. What is it? Do. I know you were discussing the HHN, but I was wondering what's your take on the Jurassic World roller coaster. um, hmm. Well, for those that don't know, if you don't know this, I am not a roller coaster guy. That's not my thing. I don't do them. Well, I do them to a certain extent, like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Walt Disney World. Love that ride. I can do it. Um, kid coasters, I can do them no problem. I've done the Hulk, not my thing. I've done the Mummy, not my thing. I've done Everest, not my thing. I've done Manta at SeaWorld, like clearly not my thing. I got off that ride and felt completely like a headache and sick. Those thrill rides are not my type of thing. So for Jurassic Coaster, I'll be interested to see what they do with it besides it being a coaster, but to me it feels a little cheap for Universal. Just my I mean, the whole kinda, I guess, just fits, and maybe I guess I can look at that ride and think it's a little cheap as well, um, given the fact that it's just a roller coaster ride at Universal, and you expect so much more when it comes to Universal, especially for innovation when you look at something like, uh, Forbidden Journey and how, like, far that pushed the envelope. You expect so much more from Universal, so a roller coaster ride seems very Six Flags-ish, not Cedar Point, that type of thing, and just slapping the Jurassic Park name on it seems a little lazy to me. I'm sure it will have a show building and it'll have some kind of raptor or animatronic type of thing. I'm sure that'll make an appearance, but to me, it just makes no sense why it's a coaster. And also, it's going to kind of destroy the Discovery Center. At least the Discovery Center used to be very peaceful. When you would walk out of it and look at the lagoon area, it would be very peaceful over there. Now there's going to be this roller coaster sort of out in the water or around the area. So we're going to have to see when it opens how it is. But that's my take on it. I'm not really excited for it. I'm probably not going to ride it. So, hey, it's just another ride I'm just going to be skipping. So I would have much preferred the Jeep ride, but that's just me. Do you have a HHN ritual every year, something that you get? Good point. I mean, I guess I try to stay at Cabana Bay. That's kind of a newer ritual, I guess. Sunglasses, I always take them. Always have a emergency poncho and always carry like a pack of gum with me. But, that's like my HHN rituals. I always got to have a pack of gum because it helps me kind of deal with the of, going into a HHN house for the first time and not being terrified. And the sunglasses obviously block out the sun and makes you see a little bit better. What's the scariest house you have walked through? Scarecrow, obviously. I think most people are going to say Scarecrow. My apologies. Oh, no problem, man. Um, it's all good. Yeah, Scarecrow is my scariest house I've walked through. Uh, yeah, graveyard games did give me some creeps, gave me the chills here and there. Obviously, what was your favorite house last year? Killer Clowns. Yep. If I had to think correctly, I mean, I didn't never had a bad run through of Killer Clowns. I always enjoyed every time we went through it. It was always something new I was spotting, or something else I was laughing and enjoying, or I did get some scares in there, but I think it was just perfectly made, in my opinion. And Clownzilla, how could you not love that? Do do do. And if you do not know, I've never seen the movie Alien. In fact, I've never seen any of the Alien movies as far as I remember, especially not one or two. So when the channel does hit 5K, I will be doing first time watch on that film and a review on it as well, which would be interesting to see how it's going to stack up. I find a lot of classics or movies that people love nowadays, um, Hereditary, The Shining. I just don't have that kind of love for them, and it's kind of funny to see everyone else like rave about these films, and then I watch them, and they're I don't know, they're just not for me, or they're just I just got nothing out of it. So it'll be interesting to see if Alien is going to hold up, if it's going to like give me a good scare, if it's going to intrigue me. I don't know, but we will see in time. Out of the rumored HHN houses, what is your most appreciated and which one is your least appreciated? Hmm. Mm, whatever the anniversary house is, I mean, it's hard to say which house is the anniversary house, but whatever that house is, that's my most anticipated. Least one is Billie Eilish and the Monsters, which sounds like a band name. That one is my least. One, we already had Monsters last year, and two, I don't care about Billie Eilish, so we'll be interested. It'll be interesting to see how that's going to work out, but I have no hopes for that one. Alien holds up well. Okay, hopefully. I need to watch Alien movie as well, and the Predator movies. I saw Predators. I haven't seen the previous. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't watch the previous one. The one with Andrew Brody was pretty good. The ones after that have been really, really bad, especially this new one where they introduce a new predator. I'm not going to ruin anything about it, but it's not a good movie. I mean, if you want to watch a bad predator movie, it's good for that. Hello, good vibes. You got this. Thank you. Thank you. Do you think there will be a It Haunted House? Not at Horror Nights, there won't be. Not with Warner Brothers. They have their own event going on. I think it's coming back this year, is what sort of the strong rumors are. So, if there's going to be a It Chapter 2 experience or something, it's going to be at Horror Made here. I think it's what it's called. But when that gets announced, we'll have a video on it as well. Do you Hereditary was garbage. What is the scariest movie you've ever seen? Mm, when I was younger, I would say Exorcist is obviously everyone's kind of go-to answer. Recently, I will say something like the Spanish found footage horror movie Wreck is a good one. That one really gave me some chills there. Um, Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm a sucker for like found footage movies, but I'm trying to think if there's a regular horror movie. Mm, Maybe Last Shift. That was pretty terrifying. Um, yeah, Wreck and Last Shift, and maybe some of the Paranormal Activity movies, but that's more like a jump scare, not scary, scary. So, how do you think the scares will work following the guidelines? Um, it all depends on where we are as far as a culture by then. Maybe there's gonna be some animatronic scares. I mean, there's all sorts of ways they can do scares in the house that don't have the actors come near you. But as far as, like, in the zones, I don't know how they do that. I guess everyone just wears a mask and they will sanitize the mask or do some kind of really good sanitizing at the end of the night is the only way I can think of. So, there probably won't be any face, characters unless they're on a stage or away from guests. That's my assumption there. Yeah, I think there's going to be scare zones. They might not be what we're used to seeing at this event, but I do believe there will be scare zones. What is the best B movie? Like Killer Clowns? There's plenty of them. Troll 2. If you've never seen Troll 2, highly recommend it. That's a great, great, great watch. Oh my god, it's so good. I have to watch it again. Tales from the Crypt, Demons Night. I highly recommend that. It's one of my all-time favorite horror movies. You get to see Billy Zane sort of portrayed like a Beetlejuice type character in that movie. It's really funny. I think Satan's Little Helper, I think it's called. That's a great B movie right there. Check that one out. That's an interesting one. I'm excited to see the Falcon 9 space shuttle launch this Friday. I wanted to know your take. I hope it goes. Space kind of terrifies me. um, yeah, it'll be cool. I'm sure I'll see the highlights of the replays of it, but it's good to see us kind of getting back to space exploration. Hopefully, everything goes well. What, Scott, man? What? Oh man, I would say if you've been quarantined in where you live, you probably have reached the end of madness right about now, Scott. I mean, have you started referring to yourself in third person or having conversations with yourself? Uh, yeah, it's a very disgusting movie. Very. I mean, kudos to the guy that came up with that and filmed it. Have you ever watched American Horror Story? What is the best season? Uh, American Horror Story is very funny with me because I've had such a love, not a hate relationship, but like, for instance, the last season, I watched, I think, the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then I get sidetracked and I stop watching. Sometimes that just happens where American Horror Story, I'll be excited for a new season, I'll start it, and then I'll just stop, and I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot I was watching this." My favorite season is season, I wanted to say Season of the Witch, but I forget what's the title of it. The one with the witches. Coven. There we go. Coven. That one. That's my favorite season. Scott's getting super. Bye, Scott. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully everything's going well over in Japan, buddy. Godzilla will destroy the virus. He'll let out that gigantic scream. Well, any last minute questions, guys? About to wrap this up for Zombie Bites. The week of May 29th, decided to do this live. That way I didn't have to shoot a whole video and then do all the editing and stuff. But live is pretty cool. Thank you guys for stopping by, man. Thank you all. Thank you all. Best season is Roanoke. Good point. I kind of forgot about Roanoke. Because Roanoke is the one I think that switches, right? If I'm not mistaken, like half of the season kind of goes one way and then they pull like a switcheroo almost and they're like, gotcha. And then I forget, it's like towards the end of the season, I think it's like the last couple episodes, they pull the switcheroo. What's the first thing you're going to watch on HBO Max that you've never seen before? Sucker Punch Extended Edition. Joker is probably going to be the first thing I watch that I've never seen before because didn't see it when it came to theaters. Heard so much good stuff about it. Definitely Joker, but then again, I kind of have to go back through the whole DC because I have not watched any of the comic book movies dating like the last 2-3 years. Like Wonder Woman, didn't see it. Well, actually, I saw Batman vs Superman, but nothing past that. So I haven't seen Aquaman. I haven't seen Justice League, Wonder Woman, Joker, and Harley Quinn. If that's going to come on there in time. So I haven't seen none of those. So going to start with the Joker first off. So Asylum or Freak Show. I really like the location of Asylum. Yeah, it was really some messed up stuff in there. Asylum was very, very, very graphic at times. And Freak Show, um, I really don't remember too much of Freak Show besides the main characters. I can't remember very much from the season. I don't know why, but I still have to go back and watch the last season. What's the other season, like Apocalypse or whatever it was called? I have to watch that one, as well as the vampire one, Hotel. I have to watch that one. So a lot of American Horror Story to catch up on. Yeah, the first 4 seasons. Well, you're much further than I would have been. But that is it for this live stream. We're coming up almost on 40 minutes. Thank you, guys. Make sure to tune in next week. It's going to be me and Connor back with the Connor and Chris podcast. I'm sure there will be some news will rumble up. We'll probably be talking about maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre, getting his take, as well as Blumhouse or The Invisible Man possibly coming to Horror Nights this year as well. Candyman is still hanging out there as far as the rumors are going on. Not quite sure if that's going to be a Hollywood or Orlando Hollywood type of thing. And I'm sure there will be some more news by then. So that is it for this live broadcast of Zombie Bites. I am out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody in the chat. And make sure to click the like. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and you just stumbled upon this magic channel. Thank you guys. Adios. I'm out of here. Peace, everybody. Enjoy the Falcon 9 launch and enjoy your weekend. Peace out.